Welcome to another episode of What If Moments for Moms. I'm so thankful that you all have tuned in today. I am super excited. We have Dr. Brooks Gibbs, who you are going to recognize from our mental health moments. Well, he is here live in person in the studio with us. Of course, Stephanie is going to be here with a What the Hack segment, so stay tuned for that. I'm thinking today might be something Christmas related, which is her favorite. So grab yourself a cup of coffee or tea and take this moment that's just for you. Hey, so glad that you all are here with us. Dr. Brooks Gibbs is here, and we are going to be talking about rivalry revolution, calming the chaos at home. Dr. Brooks, thank you for being here.
Yes, if I had the cure to sibling rivalry, I'd be a very wealthy man.
You would.
But we can get close to the cure, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
It's good to be with you,
I
my
know.
goodness.
You're here in person.
Yeah, I'm usually like, hey, roll that tape.
Yeah.
But here it's like,
You're a mental health moment.
yeah.
Just a moment.
Just a moment.
Now
But here
you're
I
like
got more.
co-host.
Thank you. I've
Yeah.
been upgraded.
You have.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
grateful.
so good to be here in
Yeah.
the Nashville studios, and love the work that you're doing, and
Thank
your
you.
team's incredible. The studio is so awesome.
Thank you. We're
And,
very blessed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, you only have one, so really, your rivalry revolution,
Yeah.
but there's still, there can be fights between husband and wife or kid
No.
and child. Yes,
Wow.
it's true. And I have two boys, Braden
Okay.
and Jackson, and they're 2 years apart. And I was 27 when I had my first one, 29 with my second one, and I'm 43 now, and they're 16 and 15, or 14. And I've been married 23 years to Jill. She's an amazing girl, and love at first sight for me, not her. She thought she'd marry an athlete, or whatever that means, but she
Same.
got me. And she's an amazing person. I'm so glad that she is my kid's mom.
Yeah.
She's in a wheelchair. She's paralyzed.
wow.
Yep, she's been paralyzed since she was 15 years old.
Okay.
She had a spinal cord injury, C4 and 5. So wherever the injury happens, you're paralyzed from that down. So she's a quadriplegic.
Okay.
And she has some limited movement.
Yeah.
But she couldn't change any diapers, or so she said. So I changed every diaper of our kids' diapers season, and that's thousands.
So
if
many.
You can imagine.
I can't imagine it times two, but I can't imagine it with one.
So I was a stay-at-home dad with her, and found a way to make a living from home, and it was a really special time. It's probably my favorite time, actually, when I was there every single day, and then once they could kind of change themselves and they were potty trained, my schedule changed, and I was able to travel and speak, and man, I was just like gone a lot, and had in-laws much like you do that could help in and pitch in. We moved all the way to Michigan just to have those in-laws.
You can't, it's incredible. I don't know how people do it without their families close by them.
Right.
I have so many memories of growing up with both of my sets of grandparents, and they're such wonderful, wonderful memories. Like, I'm so thankful that Charlie's going to have that.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's important because, they could also help you when the husband and wife things, struggling or on the fritz, or, and if they're wisdom folks, they can provide some good wisdom without being too overbearing.
Sure.
It's got to be tough, to have that balance. But, basically we want to cure the family of our tendency to be offended. That's primarily what I teach. I help victim-proof the mind of people. Say, you're interpreting things in a way that's not helpful. You have expectations that are too rigid and demanding, and it's not helpful. And so when it comes to helping a family unit get along, we really have to focus on what is it that I'm demanding with such rigid demands that this must not, ought not, should not happen. And for siblings, it could be, well, they told me that I told them not to come into my room, and they did.
Right.
Well, why would you have that expectation, for them not to come in your room? And if they want to bother you, what do you think they're going to do to bother you? Come into your room.
Of course.
So the boundaries we set as siblings, or the boundaries we set even as family members. You must close this cabinet, or you have to help me with dishes, or why don't you put the clothes into the laundry basket? We have all these like idiosyncrasies and these little demands, I call it death of 1,000 cuts, that we disturb ourselves day in and day out.
Yeah.
And the best thing to do is say, hey, I love the wife I have, not the one I wish I had. I love the brother I have, not the one I wish I had. I love the kids I have, not the one I wish I had. And that's ultimately, I think, what we all want. We want unconditional acceptance and not all these rigid demands that make the whole culture of the house irritable and trigger happy.
Yes. So something that you said, you talked about expectation in there. And something that I had to learn very quickly is that Bobby doesn't read minds. He doesn't read in my mind. He doesn't know what I'm thinking. And I would have all of these expectations of what I thought that he should be doing, but I wouldn't voice those. So I'm holding him to this standard that he has no idea. He's not even on the same realm. Like, he's not thinking about that. And I would get so frustrated. And then I would harbor bitterness and resentment. And I'd start keeping score of like, well, I'm doing this and you're not doing this internally. So then I'm becoming a person that's just angry and rage-filled and tired. And that's just, that is going to explode at some point. And I found that as soon as I started communicating my expectations to him and us talking through them, some of them were as simple as like on Wednesday mornings, I shared with you, we take him to either my dad's house or his dad's house. So for me, that's different because it's getting me ready, getting him ready, packing Charlie for the day, packing lunches, like all the things. And Bobby would normally sit and watch the news and drink his coffee like he would any other morning. And I'm racing around like a crazy person, frustrated and passive aggressively looking at him drinking his coffee while he's not even wondering why I'm doing that. But then he realized that I was angry. He goes, what are you mad about? And this was after weeks of doing it. And all I wanted was for him to help me get Charlie ready. And as soon as I just said that, I said, I just really wish that you can just at least help me get Charlie ready. Like, just get him dressed for the day. He hasn't missed a Wednesday since. His intention wasn't to make me angry. It's just that I had all of these expectations of him that were just inside that I didn't voice. And man, that really shifted a lot of things for us. The bitterness and the anger, and it wasn't his intention.
Yeah, and domestic support is actually the phrase that you would put under that specific ask. Can you help me with Charlie? Well, underneath that, I have a deep-seated need of domestic support. I don't want to know that I'm alone. I want a team partner, and then I also I want you to prove your family commitment. So family commitment and domestic support are the deep need that's driving that. And if a husband doesn't meet that deep need, it's disastrous if he's not sensitive to that. Yeah. And he may be just focusing on Charlie can dress himself, or Charlie can just go, he's going to get in jammies anyways. Like, why don't and if he doesn't really think about what the need that's driving the ask, he's going to break the heart of his wife. And I've had this theory that a man can accept the wife as she is, flaws and all, and just adjust to it. But a woman has a very difficult time adjusting to the husband as he is. And if he's not willing to improve himself, then she's going to suffer. And women suffer a lot more than men. I think it has something to do with the curse, to be honest with you. And your desire will be for your husband. It's this curse of desire, this unmet desire. So I think that's even for siblings as well as couples, to be able to say, what is the root? What is the thing underneath the little petty little ask? Because there's something deeper there that if that's not met, I feel like we're drifting and I'm not attached to you and we have no bond, and that makes me insecure, and that takes conversation.
Yes, it does. It does. And it takes time, and it takes prioritizing it, which I feel like when you have littles, or I don't know, when they're older, I don't have older ones, so I don't know, but just like prioritizing that relationship also. And it does affect Charlie. You know what I mean? Like if it's 6 a.m. and we're kind of already at each other's throat, then he's chaotic because he's just trying to get somebody's attention. It's just mass chaos and a recipe for a terrible morning.
Yeah. And yelling really only proves to the kid that no one's in control.
Yeah, yes. And I've always been very careful with that. I don't want...
it's a scream-free family.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's scream-free. No need to scream.
Yes.
Unless he's screaming, then that's fine. You can adjust to that and say, okay.
He screams a lot. It's mostly, a lot. But mostly fun. We're learning inside voice. And his favorite thing now is he goes, and not me, it's the four-wheeler. Like, well, you're going to have to tell the four-wheeler to use his inside voice.
Right. I like that.
So smart. Like, how does he do that? All right, so we're going to take a quick break again. All right. So I want you all to stick with us. Stay tuned because Stephanie is coming up with a What the Hack segment. And like I said before, pretty sure this one's going to be Christmas related, which if you don't know Stephanie, Christmas is her favorite holiday. She shops for it, I'm pretty sure, 365 days a year, Christmas included. So stick with us. We'll be back with more with Dr. Brooks Gibbs.
We want to connect with you. Make sure to visit our website, momentsformoms.tv, for the latest episodes of the show, guest information, resources, and so much more. Visit momentsformoms.tv today.
The hat. They're singing.
Hi guys, I'm so happy to be back with you. In a recent episode, I shared with you that my husband and I were able to become debt-free with a lot of hard work and a whole lot of prayer. And I learned a lot of things through that journey, but one of the things I want to share with you is the best way to save money is to be organized and to pre-plan. Now, my favorite holiday is Christmas, but it can also be the most stressful holiday. So come into play the Christmas planner notebook that I use. So I use this all year long because I like to shop all year long. And a lot of people will say like, well, how do you know what you bought? Where do you put it? I would lose everything. So I have a notebook. At the beginning of the year, I simply write down everyone's name in there that I need to buy for. And then throughout the year, I can shop. I bring it home. I write it in the planter. I put it in the one gift closet that I have. And by Christmas time, I'm ready. And it takes the stress out of having to rush. It helps you to be prepared. Plus, it helps you to get very personal gifts, which I have an example. A couple of years ago, I went to the Strawberry Festival in March, and I found this beautiful wooden Bradley. And my son drove a Bradley in the Army, and I thought it would be a great gift. And then I found out I could get his Army emblem engraved on the Bradley. It was a super special personal gift that I was able to get taken care of in March. So you can do that throughout the year. You can write in here everyone that you want to send Christmas cards to. You can plan holiday meals and have them all written down. If you see a recipe that you love, you can write it down in here so that you don't forget about it. And listen, something to save money, to spread, well, not really save, but spread money throughout the year. Once a month, buy a gift card from your local grocery store that you know you're going to shop at Christmas time for holiday meals. And by Christmas time, you have $300 to $400 in gift cards to spend on food. So you don't have to spend all that money all at once. You spread it out through the year. You can put an envelope right in your little planner here, put it in the envelope. Because let me tell you, when we were broke, having a savings account was not something we could do. And putting even $25 a month in it just wasn't possible. But for some reason, if I bought gift cards, it seemed possible. So I just wanted to share this with you. I got a wonderful note from a viewer one time because I shared this on a show that I did called Homekeepers. And they told me that she made a whole bunch of them for her friends and for her sisters and her daughters. And she put all kinds of Christmas ideas in them for them and gave it to them as gifts in October so that they could plan and be ready for Christmas. I thought that was a wonderful idea. Now, I do have a Facebook page. If you want to go to it, it's Stephanie's Fan Club. I share all kinds of ideas on there. And the fan club is tongue-in-cheek. We say my mom is the president of my fan club, so it's funny. And also, I have an email. You can email me right here if you have any questions about the Christmas notebook or about anything, really. I'm happy to answer your questions. I'm so happy to be with you guys, and I'll see you next time.
The hat. They're singing.
Welcome back. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us today on What If Moments for Moms. We have got Dr. Brooks Gibbs live in the studio with us. And we are talking about rivalry revolution, calming the chaos at home.
Yeah.
I took us on a rabbit trail about marriage, but I appreciate your
Well, I
insight
think
there.
the couple model how to resolve conflict.
Yeah, that's true.
And so to me, it's relevant because it's the absolute foundation. You know, children learn by what we model. They pick up our accent. They learn our language. They learn how to walk and talk. Even the gait in which they walk sometimes is modeled, you know, because they observe us. Everything is first absorbed, and learning starts through observation and demonstration. So now we get to, well, how do we help our children navigate their little arguments?
Yeah.
And I would say there's 4 motivations behind all aggression. And if you could teach your kids the 4 motivations why someone did something that we perceive as mean, then we'll know how to respond to it to keep the peace. And then if you can teach your kid this, they're going to be so social savvy that if they'll perfect it at home, and they'll be really victim proof and bully proof at school, which is what we want.
Yeah.
We want them to be confident. And the first one is bothering. Sometimes people just want to bother you. And especially when it comes to sibling rivalry, they love to bother. And usually there's someone in the home that loves to bother, and then there's another one that is easily bothered. And in there lies the toxicity.
Yeah.
Someone knows how. And what this is from a psychological, sociological perspective, it's called dominance behavior. Psychological dominance over another one. It's power. Bothering is all about power. When my boys would wake up, I would ask them a question. I said, are you going to be a bother brother today? Or are you going to be a blessing bro? Are you going to be a bother brother or a blessing bro? It's your choice. I wonder what type of day it's going to be. And a lot of times we think to solve the power imbalance there, we have to moralize with the powerful one. Stop being mean to your brother. Don't you know the golden rule? What the heck is wrong with you? You're just like your father. Now, don't do that. Instead, do a backdoor approach, which is, don't you realize, honey, that he is trying to bother you? It's a game of winning and losing. And if you get upset, you lose and he wins. And if you don't get upset, you win and he loses. It's a game. You're playing in losing mode. The more upset you get, the more fun he has. The more fun he has, the meaner he is. The meaner he is, the more upset you get. Stop it. No matter what he says, do not get upset and treat him like a friend. So help the child in terms of winning and losing, which is what school psychologist Izzy Kalman coined, winning and losing. Help him change the dynamics of understanding it in terms of a game. He's coming into your room not because he cares about your room,
Right.
but you're upset that he comes in your room.
Yeah.
He's playing with your toy because you're upset about
Right.
it, but don't get upset. The second motivation behind aggression is joking. Sometimes we're tripping, or sometimes we're popping the towel, or sometimes we're doing a prank, or we're scaring in the hallway, boo. And not because we're trying to bother you, but because we're trying to joke with you. And you need to learn to take and make a joke about yourself.
Yeah.
They're pointing out your that kind of spot on your forehead, or maybe your mouth is unusually small and your cheeks are unusually big.
Right.
And they're pointing that out not to bully you or to hate you, because it's funny.
Yeah.
And we all jokes are insults. Around our home, we have family roasts at dinner time. And that's to make fun. And we always start with mom. We make fun of her, and then she makes fun of dad, and then dad makes fun of the kids, and the kids make fun of mom and dad. And we demonstrate that we're not taking ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
The third motivation behind aggression is criticism. Someone's telling you a flaw that you have, and they're trying to help you improve. And so the response to that is thank you. The response to someone joking with you is a laugh. That's a good one. You should be a comedian. The response to a bothering dynamic is, so whatevs, it's all good. I'm not going to get upset. But the fourth and final one is when someone's hurt by you. The response to that is, hey, are you mad at me? I'm sorry about that.
Right.
Teaching children to apologize
Yeah.
helps, gives them a skill set to dissipate the aggression. And finally, when I was raising my boys and they were young, I had, those hallway runner rugs?
Oh, yeah.
I would put like tape So it'd be almost like a hopscotch, sort of like
Right.
5 squares. And in the first 2, I'd have them face each other and stand in square one. It says, I'm mad at you because ... because you pushed me. And it'd say, I'm mad at you because you knocked me in the head after I pushed you. And then after they communicated while they're mad at each other, the next step would, I'm sorry for ... And they'd say, I'm sorry for knocking you in the head with that truck. And it says, well, I'm sorry for tripping you or pushing you. And the last one would be, hug.
Yeah.
So I say, go hug on the rug. Some parents can do a work it out wall. You know, whatever you call it.
That's
the
good.
point is when a kid comes to you saying, Mom, Charlie did this, or Mom, Braden did that, or whatever, you'd say, hey, go hug on the rug. And then they'd realize, oh, it's not worth it. I don't want to go through the whole problem. And then you address, you realize, hey, it's a man's glory to overlook an offense.
Yeah.
Because when you take an offense, now you have to work it out, and there has to be forgiveness. And
Yeah.
that's a process that takes a lot of work. It's better not to get offended in the first place.
Agreed. But those are lessons that I mean, can carry us. I mean, those are foundational things that we as adults, right? I mean, use every single day. If we can apologize if we've hurt, because I think a lot of what you're saying, like, it's easy to do the opposite. It's easier to get hurt or to hurt somebody and just not acknowledge it, right? And not apologize. It's easier to, if someone bothers you, to get angry. It's easier to do the opposite of what you're saying, or to just get offended and stay offended and not address it. So I think I love everything that we've been talking about in these shows, because it's kind of countercultural. It's the right way of doing it, but it's not the natural, like in our natural selves, it's not the natural way to do it. It's just easier to stay offended sometimes. Not that it's the healthy or the right thing to do, but sometimes it's easier to do that than to have to confront the situation.
Right, but you know what's harder is to win back an offended brother. Proverbs says it's easier actually to take a walled city in war than it is to win back an offended brother. So of course it's easy to be offended.
Yeah.
And we're offended when our demands are not met. And so rigidity is the enemy, frankly. But we have to, we're in this for the long haul as a family.
Yeah.
And we don't want to lose a brother. We don't want to have a split in the family. And so it's better that a parent focuses on what was the motivation behind that aggression, help talk it through with your child. Were they bothering you, joking with you, criticizing you, or were they hurt by you? Then we'll know how to respond. Hey, play in winning mode. Don't get upset. Hey, laugh. Make a joke. Thank them for pointing out a flaw or a criticism, and apologize if they feel hurt by you.
Yeah, that's so good. That's so good. Okay, so in your family, the hug on the rug.
Yeah.
What
Which
ages?
turns into a wrestling match, and then
There
they
you go.
gotta,
Okay, see, here we go. This is what I need to know. Right.
Then they got to start over.
How young?
Well, you know, Charlie could do it now.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
To work at it. This is the process for apology.
Okay.
You communicate. I'm upset with you because, and then the other person may say, I'm upset with you because, and I may not be upset with you. Well, I'm sorry you're upset. But what's even more important is to help children not get upset in the first place.
Yeah.
See, you can avoid the rug because it starts by I'm mad at you because, when you're not mad at each other.
Yeah.
And that's by giving up the grip of their demands.
Yeah.
And saying, yes to disruptions and yes to disappointments.
Yeah.
One way I do this is 3 questions I'll give you as bonus in this session. How could this have been worse? Why won't this matter in your future?
Yeah.
How could this turn out for your good? And if you can discipline him to process unwanted happenings through the negative, neutral, positive exercise of how could this be worse? Why won't this matter in your future? How could this turn out for your good? He won't even make it to the rug because he won't be mad about it.
That's so good. Man, that's good just to hang on the wall in your office, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it could be worse.
Could be worse.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you. You're so incredibly knowledgeable about what you do, and I just appreciate you sharing it
Well, I
with
appreciate
us.
you. That you're very authentic. I think everyone knows you are in the struggle, girl, right now. But you're overcoming, and you're talking about it. and you're one beggar telling another beggar where the bread's at.
Right? Yeah, we just all want the carbs. That's the end game here for me. Thank you so much. Thanks for being my co-host. Come back anytime.
Yeah.
Appreciate it so much. Thank you all so much. Again, you can find Dr. Brooks Gibbs on our website, and I can't thank you enough for being here, for being a part of our community. We will see you back next time.
Moments for Moms is more than just a show. It is a community of moms encouraging each other on this incredible journey we have been called to. Join our private Facebook group to share your mom moments, questions, small victories, and connect with other moms as we all come together in this ministry called motherhood. We can't wait to see you there.
Jonah, what are we doing today?
Easter egg hunts, and I'm hiding the eggs for the littler kids and the bigger kids.
Okay, where are you going to hide that big egg so we can get the rest of them? Yeah, that looks good. Why don't you put it right there? It's perfect. Yeah. Okay, let's go get back and get the other ones. So, how many kids do you think are going to be here?
Probably 2,000.
I agree. Look, and then all of these eggs.
Because I wasn't anticipating the fence, because I was going to do over there
All of
too.
these eggs.
I hided that one.
Oh, that's a good hiding place.
Hey friends! So it is a Sunday afternoon here at the McLean house. See all of our little farm fresh animals. That's Kudu. My husband is crazy and bought that at a fair. But anyways, my little buddy is just kind of passed out from the really busy day that we've had. So I just wanted to share something that happened this morning at church, and I don't think I'm alone in this. I don't know, maybe I am and I'm crazy, but we were sitting in service, and we sit like right in the front row, so we were fully engaged. If I sit like behind people, I am super distracted by everything anybody does. So we sit in the very front row, and all of a sudden, Charlie, he's up in his class like he always is. He loves his class, has fun, and I just had this these thoughts of fear and panic rushing through my mind. I had thoughts of him walking, visual. I can totally visualize this. He's walking through the hallways upstairs, and his teachers can't find him, and in a panic and thinking that I'm going to go up there and that he's not going to be there. And there were moments when I honestly, I wanted to tap my husband and be like, hey, I'll be right back. And I just wanted to go and walk past his classroom just to look in and see what he was doing. But then I had to stop myself, because I know that those thoughts are from the enemy 100%. They were tormenting thoughts, and they were terrifying thoughts, and they were there to distract me and to scare me. And I had to stop and remember and speak to myself God, you are the God of peace. You are not the God of anxiety. Father, you are here with me, and you are up there with Charlie. And something that helped me more than anything else to calm down was remembering that first and foremost, this little guy, my everything, is first and foremost God's child. And God loves him more than I do. And God is watching over him and caring for him just like he is for me and just like he is for you. So I don't know if you all deal with any of those thoughts or fears about your children, but remember, God loves them so much more than we do, as hard as that is to comprehend. So I hope that encourages you today.